Hello, welcome to today's live. If you're watching the replay, which if you're watching this part, you probably are, then I'm so happy you're here. Especially if you're new to the page, drop and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you. We go live usually every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central. Today's a little later because my son had a field trip today for school, and I'm going to be showing you all about that too. But we're going to be lettering with a chalkboard today. And we're going to jump right in. It's going to be so neat to watch this come to life. So if you notice, the title is called Have Fun and Try Your Best. And so the reason it's titled that is because one of our digital dust designs this month was Have Fun and Try Your Best. And because I have my son on my mind since we just got back from a field trip, I thought, it's right here in May, which really feels like May-cember. Have y'all ever heard it called that, where it's like December, but it's May? And it's just because things are so busy. Yesterday they had a field day. Today they had a field trip. And then no. Well, I'll tell you about it. It wasn't an actual field trip. Tomorrow is their field trip, but today I'm just going to show you this really quick. My son had what they call White House dinner, and y'all look how handsome. Okay, this is him, me and my husband, but he got all dressed up, and they had where all the little boys and girls got their all their like formal attire on, and then they had the mayor came and spoke, and then they got to practice all their etiquette that they've been learning. So that's what I've been doing and why I couldn't be here live at 12. But we are going to do this Have Fun and Try Your Best because it was a request made in the Digital Dust Library, and I want to show you how you can do this with a chalkboard style and trace it to where it's like super easy peasy. So I'm going to turn my camera to be on my hands. And like I said, as you hop on, let me know where you're watching from and what you've been up to. I'm going to make sure that I can pull up the comments here on my phone. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey, Diane, let me put this down here on the side. Okay, now I'm going to take this and put it on the hand. So this is my camera that I'll have down here on my hands. And we'll show, will that work? Let's do it like this, where you can see it more up close. Let's move this camera around to give y'all the best view. Hey there. Okay. All right, so what we're working with this design is just print it out on a regular piece of computer paper. Sometimes people ask me, what kind of paper should I print my template out on? And the thing is you don't want to print it on too thick of a paper, because you'll see here in a moment how we're going to do this. So I want you to just use a regular sheet of computer paper when you print it out. And then your carbon paper is what we're going to use in the middle to transfer this down on. And so this carbon paper it feels like matte on one side and shiny on the other. And so the way that you're going to do your carbon paper is to always put the shiny side down. And so let's see. Yep, this way. So I was going to be off a little. But you can feel it when you have it in your hand. You can feel the texture on it. So you know what? Hey, Cindy. I'm going to actually multitask. I'm going to put my phone up here and record, because now I can see y'all's comments on the screen. So I'm going to be recording this on my phone, the view from this way. Sometimes that turns out to be a really cool reel because you can see it from a different angle. And I had recently made this post. Let me know how you feel about it. I made a post asking, do you prefer to watch Facebook Lives or videos in general on Facebook? Do you prefer them in vertical or horizontal? Today is horizontal, and you can turn your phone sideways to make it big, to take up the entire screen. But also, I know that, with reels and stuff, you're scrolling up as you watch. And so I'd love to hear from you if you're watching. Just what do you enjoy? Because I could do my lives up and down, but this way we get the hands and the and like where I can talk to you and look you in the face. So that's another reason why I choose this way. All right, I'm going to lift this up just a little, and then we'll get started. And I'm not sure if she'll be on the live today, but this was requested by a Digital Dust subscriber. Okay. Here we go. All right, I clicked record on that. And this carbon paper, we're going to put shiny side down. And then I'm going to have the have fun and try your best just right on top. And y'all, this part's going to be so cool because after I trace, it's going to have those white lines and they're going to already look like chalk lines, but they're not. So today I'm going to use I almost thought about, hey, Sheila, I'm so glad you're here too. Okay, you prefer horizontal. Do you turn your camera? And the reason I ask is I know when you turn your camera, then you can't see comments, but it is good viewing. So, all right, I think I might just use this white chalk pencil I have. It's actually a charcoal pencil, and I'm just going to come over these lines. I have a tool, but you can't see it at all if I use the tool, which you really can't see this either. So I'm going to come here. And if you're brand new to this method, I want to show you what's happening underneath. So as I go, can you kind of see those lines? I'm going to use a tool that presses harder. And I don't have to worry about taking my, the tip down too far. So these tools that I'm going to refer you to, they're called styluses, but they come in the same pack. If you get the Amazon carbon paper, you get 5 of these with that. And I think it's only I don't know, and I could be wrong on this. Oh my, there's something black all in that marker thing, y'all. I just pulled that out of here and I guess some ink busted or a paint pen busted. We're gonna have to be careful with that, but okay, let me get at it. So as I go over these, it's transferring the letters, and these styluses come with your carbon paper, so you'll be prepared. And it's so inexpensive. That's what I was about to say is you can get 200 sheets, I think, for $10, and they're reusable. You probably just need 1 pack for your whole crafting life, really. And these 5 little styluses come in it, and they have multiple little tips on them. So this, you probably can't see it, but there's different size tips on the end. And so it's very helpful. Hey, Shelly. All right, I'm glad to hear that, Sheila, about you liking it horizontal. You know, the reason I really asked that is because I know some people also watch on YouTube, and we actually play our YouTube on our big TV in our house. And, you know, if it's vertical, it looks odd. So if you have to where you cast to your TV, then the horizontal is a really good viewing option. And it made me kind of wonder you know, my biggest goal is that y'all can see the best and take it in the best. So that's why I asked. Okay, I'm going to show you again what's happening underneath if you're just tuning in. Look at this, y'all. This is going to be so much easier in a moment when I come in with this charcoal pencil. And it looks just like chalk, but it's more sharp, so it's easier to use than regular chalk. And it gets you very crisp lines. And the really cool thing is it's erasable. So I've actually used this chalkboard multiple times over the years, on videos, and changed out the designs. So I was thinking a teacher could use this type of design in her classroom, which now we're at the end, but you could change these out in your house with scripture templates too. But they are such a time saver when you use a template. And it was so much fun this month to see all of your requests in the Digital Dust Library. All but one of the designs that came through this month, that were posted this month, were requests. So make sure if you want to get your request in, you go to that tab over in your library and request. Okay. And here, I know this is kind of a boring part to watch on a Facebook Live, but I wanted you to see in real time just how to do it. And I'm moving along as quickly as I can. But it'll get much more fun when we start adding in those chalk lines. Okay, I'm trying to remember if I went to that one. Here we go. And you don't have to be quite exact, just kind of give yourself those guidelines. And then I'm going to go ahead and underline here and here. And then I'm going to show you texturing around the edges too. So, hey, Kim. All right, are you ready? Yay! We've got some great guidelines put down. So, Brenda, you asked what paper I'm using. So this is carbon paper. It's just from Amazon, and this is just regular computer paper. So you want to make sure when you print your template to not print on too thick of paper, because you see you're having to put those grooves in, and you'll have to press way harder if you use thick paper. So no cardstock for your template. Just use regular computer paper and you're good. Okay, so up next, you could use either one of these. You could use a General's charcoal pencil. I need to watch and make sure I'm not touching my face after that fiasco. So you can use a regular charcoal pencil from General's, or this I recently found, and it should be very much the same. I got it at a local place. They're a local art supply store, because I had ran out of General's, and they said, this is just like it. It's called Primo. They said it was actually made by the same company that makes the General's, but it's a more premium brand. So I don't know. I haven't seen that much of a difference, but I'm going to use this one just because it has a sharper tip today. So I'm going to show you this. We'll go just right here on the same lines and then fill in. And I know you might not be able to tell with video, but it looks almost just like chalk. And it even deposits like a little bit of, like a little bit of the chalk dust, if you could see that. Hey, Lori, and hey, Sue. I'm so happy you're here. So I'm just going to go over those and kind of give that look of chalk. But the thing that's awesome about it is that, you know, chalk, you can't get that sharp of a point. Now, one tip I do have, if you do like working with chalk, is to actually stick your chalk in an eraser. I mean, I'm sorry, not eraser, in a pencil sharpener, and twist, and you can make your chalk sharp, just like a pencil. However, it's not going to be as sharp as it could be when you use something like this, but it gives that same look. Especially up close, you can see all the texture of it looking like chalk. And I guarantee you, if someone saw this and they didn't watch this happen, they would think I did this with chalk. And so I think about, you know, when you go in a coffee shop and you see their menu all done up in chalk, surely they're using something like this. So unless they're sharpening their chalk, their actual chalk, because it is so precise, and I'm always just in awe of those. So let me see if you can get in a little closer. I don't know. I just wish you could see it in person. It's so pretty. Like it's like I said, dust everywhere, kind of. And then there, you can kind of see the difference when I do that. Okay. And then this will help you. And notice it's not rubbing off with my hand. It's pretty much there. And that's the carbon paper. But if I wanted to get rid of this, if I wanted to restart this, it is possible to erase it all. Actually, I had to erase it right before I came live because, it had a different design on it. There we go. Okay, and Lori, I see you're guessing chalk markers. Have you ever worked with it? Well, I know you have worked with chalk markers. I am not a huge fan. They are so hard to erase. But you're right, they probably are. They probably just commit to their menu and get it done in the beginning and leave it. Okay, I'm going to thicken that up just a little. But this is the way, if you've ever heard me say online, oh, that's okay, Paula. So this is the same thing as a General's charcoal. I'm going to put that right there. It's called a Primo, but it's the same company that makes Generals. It's just I went to a local supply store, like art supply store, and I asked them for Generals and they were sold out at the time. And they said, this is just like them, but they're apparently like a more premium brand. They actually said, since we're out of since we're out of Generals, like the one you were looking for, we'll give it to you for the same price and you can try it out. And to me, they're identical. So, I'm not saying you should buy the Primo. I think just if you can find the Generals, grab it. But if you've ever heard me say on my page, like, you can learn lettering from an absolute beginner, then you can with even the hand lettering class that's free-handed. But the best way is when you can get a template, grab a sign or a project that you want to do, and use this method of transferring like I just showed you, and having these lines down are going to give you so much confidence. And then as you continue to use these templates, like see, I'm noticing here I went down and thickened it up. It's like I've done all the hard work for you of the layout and all of that. And all you have to do is grab and practice. And then you become more and more familiar with where those downstrokes are and where to add in the thickness, how much to add, and how much space to give. That's probably the biggest question I get, even after people have taken the class. They want to know about the layouts. They want to know, how do I know how much space to give, or how do I get good at that? And truly, it comes down to practice. And templates are like your time warp. They help you by cutting time in half and getting you there faster. And so that is why the Digital Dust hand lettered library was created with, I just looked and it has like 600, I keep saying over 550 designs, and we're almost there because the 600 includes the tutorials too. So I can't say 600 designs yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close. And it's there to help you. So in there, you get access to all those templates that are just like this, but there's multiple categories. There's signs like sayings for your home. There are holidays, like encouraging quotes, Bible verses is the biggest one, and all kinds. Like there's a love category, a teacher category. This one could go in two. It could go in encouraging quotes and teacher. But they're just there to help you, and you can sell what you make. So like, let's say I had this chalkboard, which if I'm selling what I make, I'm probably not selling a chalkboard. I did in the beginning, but I don't recommend that now because it can be, erased. But if I were to do this with a paint pen and it be something that could be sealed, when you have a Digital Dust subscription, you can sell what you make. It comes with commercial licensing. So that's always fun. And even if it's just a creative outlet for you, you can then take that and like put it in a local booth and just see what comes of it. So you get a creative outlet and someone else could be blessed by your work. So I'm going to put that here and just thicken up. This is R. Sometimes I do a big loopy R, but for this design, I didn't. Go ahead and underline that. I wish I could see all this texture. Let's see. Okay. Shaky sometimes, and the paint pens can get away from me. Paint pens are something that you have to hone, and I totally get that. Like, it takes a little bit of time to get used to even the flow of the paint coming out of them. Sometimes I have to dab over on the side and get used to making that paint flow. Whew. And these chalk pencils, that sound. Cindy, the chalk could be sealed. I'll be honest, like when you spray it, it kind of changes the look of it. So when I say spray it, do I have, yep, I have that spray. Have I showed you before, Cindy? Have you seen it before I hop up and grab it? Let me finish lettering this. But that Rust-Oleum clear spray can be used on this, but it collects that chalk dust and it just looks a little different. So it's not that it can't be done. I will tell you, when I sold the chalkboards I used to make, they were done in chalk marker, like what Lori talked about. And the chalk marker, it's not coming off. It can chip off, but it's not like chalk. So I would try it out, spraying it. Everything's trial and error, just seeing if you can get it to look good. And Cindy, how have your ladies been, like, with their projects and stuff? Did they leave the party confident? So if y'all don't know, Cindy is a Digital Dust subscriber, and you have to check out, if you're a subscriber, go look in the private Facebook group. She posted where she did a project party with a bunch of ladies, and I was so impressed. I couldn't believe all that they did with the templates. So did they have a good time, and were they so shocked at what they could do? I bet they were so I just saw your comment, Lori. I bet they were so proud. It like literally warmed my heart when I saw your post. I was like, this is what my vision was, creating this. It's so cool to see a room full of ladies using the designs and having fun together, and fellowship time. I know it was great. Okay, now I'm going to underline this one. Okay, and then I'm going to take some chalk dust. If I can kind of grind some a little bit. Oh, I need to make sure I don't touch my face too much. Hey, Elizabeth. Let's see if I have just regular chalk in here. I'm almost positive I do. It's just probably falling to the bottom of this. So thank you, Mary Beth. Yes, here it is. So I have these little, like, pin holders. So I just poured out all the pins, and because I was like, there's a piece of chalk down there. I just know it. And there was. Okay. So let me show you this. You can take a piece of chalk and just kind of break it up. I wish it could pick this up too. I wonder if I could do it on something darker. Well, I could do it just right here. Y'all see that? Okay. We'll just do it like that. And this is how I used to shade. So I would just grind it up a little bit. And then I would take my finger, dab it around to kind of dust it off. But you just want to get your finger kind of dusty. And then that's okay, Becky. Oh, look, I'm going to show y'all what Cindy said. Okay. They loved it. I've had requests for more classes. Yay! All right. And they were so proud. Those that didn't think they could do it were pleasantly amazed at the final projects. Y'all, that's what it's all about. These templates are your secret weapon. And what's so cool is, like, I talked about being able to sell what you make, but you can also host project parties. And I've heard of ladies doing them for fundraisers for their church or just a girls' night out. But you get access to the files. So what Cindy did is she showed up. I'm going to go back to my little dust pile. I should have put it over here, but I didn't. Cindy showed up with printed designs. So essentially, all those ladies that hung out with her that night got to look through and see what they wanted to use at their party. And how fun is that? I'm so excited. I love that so much, Cindy. And just to know that you left them empowered. They were like, I had no idea I could do that. And now they see an easier way, because what happens is lettering looks intimidating when you see it all done, right? Like if you would have just tuned in, like if you just popped on and you didn't see how I did this, how many minutes have we been on here? 23 minutes. And I think I only lettered for like 10 of them because I was talking to y'all. But if you just see the finished product, you can easily be like, oh, there's no way I could ever do that. But when you watch it come to life, I recently heard a quote and I was like, that's this. And it was, it always seems like magic until the magician reveals the trick. And I mean, that was just like some random quote. And it was talking about how, you see someone doing something and they look skilled in it, but when you see how they did it, you're like, oh, it's not as hard as I thought in some cases. And so the freehanding, might be a little tougher, but when you have a template, you got this. And that's what it is. It's the revealing of the trick. But here's the thing. When you get done with your project, nobody knows when that sign is sitting in your house that you used a template. It's no, I hand lettered that because you do hand letter it. You just get some guidelines laid before you go in on your own. So super fun. I love, love, love that. Okay, now what I want to show you is if you end up smearing kind of like I have here, and all I'm doing right now is just hitting the left-hand side to kind of add in some 3D effect. But what I'm going to do is clean it up. So yes, I have some spots that are shaded in. And I don't know why. My ring finger is the finger that works. It's just the one that I feel the most prone to use. I don't know. Feels like a lighter touch than my pointer. So since that's done, but I look at it and I'm like, okay, there's a little bit that got messy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab I'm like looking to see which one is the pointiest. I could get a little bit off of that one again. And then I'm going to look at anywhere I feel like it got a little messy and just come in and define it some more, back on those lines. Just to somewhat clean it up. And this just makes it look even more like, ooh, that was all done by hand, chalky, and just kind of makes that shadowing go in behind, some more shading. Okay, let's see if there's anywhere else that looks like could use a hit of the pencil. And again, this is not meant to be perfect. This is meant to be a fun little sign that you can put up in the classroom or something like that. But look how fun. Okay, another thing you can do, I'm going to add some right here. I feel like I could tweak it all day, so I'm not going to do that. Another thing you can do is go back to your dust pile and then kind of just come around the edges and give it that look of, you know, the chalkboard has been erased a lot. Just kind of give it a little bit more texturing. Let me go back. Still not getting too close to those words so that you can see the definition around the letters, but just going around those edges too will kind of put a frame around it. What do y'all think? Okay, Glenda. So if you just hopped on, I used a Primo brand charcoal pencil made by the same company as the Generals. It's just a little bit, they say a little bit they call it a premium pencil. But I just wanted to try it out because they were out of the Generals. So I bought this at a local supply store and worked really good. No complaints, but also Generals is great if you can find it. No need to pay extra. Okay, Letta said, can the templates be done in different sizes when printed out to use? Yes. So inside, I've got black on my face now. I knew that was going to happen. Right now, inside the Digital Dust subscription, under projects and bonuses, that category has like, you know, videos you can watch where I've done projects, but it also has a tutorial. Actually, this might be in the welcome area. I need to see, but search around in the library because it's how to use a website called Block Posters with your template to enlarge them. So for instance, there was a Facebook Live we did. I'm going to grab it on this one right here. So see how large this is? This is a, let's see. This is a 16 by 20. So what we did, I'm going to make this big. Let's see. Okay. So this is a 16 by 20. And what we did is we printed out the template using Block Posters, and we did it it ended up being 4 sheets of paper. So ultimately, your template, you know, this is a regular sheet of paper, and so it's going to come out stretched out over 4 sheets, and you tape them together, use the same method, but you get a larger template. And then if you want to decrease it, you're just going to take, like, let's say you have a smaller project, like I've done ornaments before. If you need your template to be smaller, you're just going to take your printer settings down in percentage. So you're going to have, that's odd. Oh, my camera. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, why is it not showing the project? But I forgot I moved it. The smaller ones, you just take that percentage. So when you go to print your PDF, you're going to put like 50%, and you'll see on the print preview, you'll see it shrink. And sometimes I've had to print a couple different times to get it to work for my project specifically. So it's a little bit of trial and error, but you can play with that too. But there's a way to enlarge and shrink your templates. Now, I've been showing you these as PDFs. Like this is the PDF version, and I didn't have to enlarge or anything. It's just so happened to work for this. This is an 11 by 14 Stein, and this is a regular sheet of computer paper. But that's exactly what I was about to bring up, Becky. So you can also take any of these designs and use them with your Cricut or Silhouette machine, and you can adjust the size in there to anything you want. So a Cricut or Silhouette machine might use an SVG file. So SVGs are also included. You get multiple file types of the same design. So like this came with a JPEG, a PNG. If you do sublimation, you might want a PNG file of it. DXF files, some people use those with their laser cutting machines, or SVGs. So you have every file type you need of each design. And that just is so that no matter what you choose to do with them, whether you use it by hand or you use a Cricut machine, vinyl, you could, laser cutter, anything. Oh, and have y'all seen Ashley in the group? Ashley Christine is a Digital Dust subscriber that I have featured before, and she uses it for wood burning. I am so amazed. Like, she just recently took one of these plates that she found. Do y'all remember when I showed you this project with Worthy is the Lamb? And it was on one of these plates. Let me put that there. She just took one of these plates, put the template inside the circular area, and then did leaves all around the edges with wood burning, like by hand. This girl is awesome. And I don't think she's on the live today, or I'd call her out on here. But I'm going to do a post about that on the main page so that y'all can see, because I was just blown away. And I don't have a wood burning kit. I would love to try that. And that's what's so cool about having that private group where we can all share, and you can show your projects and I can share some ideas with you too. But you're going to get so many ideas from one another. It is such a great community in there. So I am finishing up, but I was going to tell you, if you're not in the Digital Dust subscription and you would like to be, you can comment the word digital to learn all the details about it. And we would love to have you in there, and you can get ideas from the ladies. And then I will be seeing you on the page. Oh, yes, Elizabeth, amazing. She's done great. Becky has a lot of scrap wood, and she plans on practicing her wood burning. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see what y'all make. I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to go live this week. What am I going to do? And I'm like, they're doing more things cool about it than I am. Like, I feel like I want to bring y'all on lives and say, you want to split screen with me? And we just kind of do it together, because it's so cool seeing what you do. And I would love for the world to know your process too. So y'all just keep me in awe over there. Love you too, Lori. Okay, well, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Again, sorry I had to reschedule. If you just hopped on, I want you to see why I had to reschedule. This is where I was. My son had they call it a White House dinner. Let me zoom in on him. Oh my goodness. He is he's 10 years old. He'll be 11 at the end of the summer, but he's 11. We took him to his White House dinner. And so what that is, I guess I could have done this. I'm so silly. I didn't even think about that. The lighting is really off, but he got all dressed up and they had to practice their etiquette. So they had a 4-course meal when I picked him up, because we had to we take pictures, we drop off, but then we come back to pick them up. So I was like chomping at the bit. I'm like, oh, I want to know what all he's doing. And so they got to listen to the mayor came and spoke, and it was like supposed to be, a real formal event so that they could practice their etiquette and they could practice, their manners. And he got to pull out his chair. So his cousin was actually sitting next to him, and she's a girl. And so all the boys had to pull out a chair for the girl and push it back under for her. And he said, Mama, I get to do my, it's his cousin. He's like, I get to do her chair. And he was like, is that weird? I'm like, no, because you don't have to worry about getting picked on. Everybody knows that, you don't like her. And he said, yeah, that's true. He's like, I got lucky. And so he did that for her. And then they got to listen to some speeches from local I guess politicians that came in and spoke. So it was so fun. And that's why I changed the time. I thought I was going to be able to make it, but they went over, and I was like, you know what? I need to make sure that I have some time allotted. So that's what we were doing. But when I picked him up, I said, well, how was it? He said, I am stuffed. And he said, like, I'm so full that I might not eat dinner tonight. And I said, really? Because he's my one that's like me and loves to eat. And he said, yes. And I said, well, if it was 4 course, did you eat your salad? And he said, I did try it because I wanted to be nice. And I was like, well, good for you, because he's never ate salad for me. But he had so much fun. And I'm just thankful that they had that opportunity. Yeah, Becky. Well, Mary Beth, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm going to try to come up with something a little more challenging next week. I feel like I let y'all off easy this week, showing you some chalk. We can all grab some chalk and do this. So let's see. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for saying that. But I'm gonna come up with something. I have an idea, but I didn't have time to whip it up this week. So make sure you tune in next week. And next week we should be back to our normal time. I don't know of anything that would be stopping it. I have nothing else on my calendar. I just looked, but I can't wait to see y'all. And thank you for letting me change that time on you. So, okay, bye everyone. Have a great day.